Wow. Wow. What a great name. We today a certain Treasure Skeed, I don't know. Treasure Skeed Richardson is wishing us good morning. What an awesome name is that? You know, I tell you, you all have great names, but every now and then you guys surprise me because somebody will show up with a fabulous name. Anyhow, this is Coffee and Headlines. It's Thursday, August 17, and I'm looking forward to today's broadcast because today's broadcast is going to be slightly different from what we usually do. We have no news. I decided we can live a day without news. So if you are going to be devastated because we're not going to shit over Zapal, if we are not going to, talk about the potholes and all the things that the local government is not doing, ni modo. That'll have to wait until tomorrow. Today is all about community. It's all about show and tell. It's all about new businesses that have opened. It's about helping hands. It's about the wonderful experience that it is living in or near Versalles. And that's what's going to happen today. Oh, and of course, when I say helping someone, somebody reached out to me in a comedy of errors, and I didn't put A and B together in identifying the source or the person that was reaching out for help. My bad, and I'll explain myself shortly. But I have all kinds of tips to share today for small businesses that are just getting started on Facebook, how to make your message stand out, and things like that. So I am going to share the only newsworthy thing that I have to share with you today before we go into the weather. Oh, no, I'm skipping ahead. What am I doing? I forget to tell you that I love you. I forget to tell you that I welcome comments, ideas, suggestions, that if you have something really important to say, you can add a capital letter Q and then I won't miss it. And of course, I forgot to tell you that if you're watching live for the first time, please add the word new to your comment, and we'll be so very glad to give you a nice little welcome. Okay, so as I was saying before, the only bit of news that I have set up for today has to do with the weather. As we had announced and as it is expected, Hillary is now a tropical storm and will become a hurricane by the time it passes closest to our bay on Saturday. Now, this one's different because as opposed to previous tropical storms and hurricanes this season, this one is the first to not be heading out to sea. It is heading right smack into Southern California. Hopefully, by the time it gets there, it will have decreased in strength. But it is moving close enough to our coast to signify that we are going to get a lot of rain. But that's what we've been saying every single day. So let's just take a look at what Snarky Weatherman has to say and get that out of the way. And that's not what I want to show you. This is what I want to show you. Now that's funny. Mother Nature is about to make you her bitch. Rain starting at around 12:15. I don't believe anything anymore, but I'll still tell you what I see just because that's what we do. I see 30 degrees right now. I see 77% humidity. I see 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and I see a 46% chance of rain for today. Mostly cloudy skies in the morning, thunderstorms in the afternoon, a high of 32 and a low of 25. Then tomorrow, overcast skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, chance of rain 70%, a high of 31 and a low of 24. That's Hillary getting closer, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, Saturday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, chance of rain of 76%, a high of 34 and a low of 24. And that is our weather forecast for the next few days. And now, on to the rest of the broadcast. Yesterday, I had to run all sorts of errands after the broadcast was over. Well, two errands primarily. I needed to walk to Francisco Medina Asensio to get some cash from my ATM. And then I needed to go find some shredded cheese because I was craving some chilaquiles. So I figured I'm going to go out and do these two things. And then I ended up adding all kinds of missions as I went by. But I want to tell you that for starters, when I made it to the ATM right next to the stripper joint, which is where it is. And when I was walking back, I decided to take that little street where Comedor Versalles used to be, and they closed. And I found out that where Comedor Versalles used to be is now Tuna Azul. Now, Tuna Azul, I know that they have a place in Emiliano Zapata. I have friends that have raved about it. I have never been, but I'm looking forward to exploring this eatery. I took a quick look at their Facebook page, which I will be so very glad to share with you in the show notes. And they have 2-for-1 pizzas on Wednesday and all kinds of other promotions. So I am sure that those of us that live in or near Versalles or that have come to appreciate spending time in this neighborhood will enjoy this. And then after that, I needed to find cheese for my chilaquiles, and I figured I'm going to go back to Cremería Versalles. You see, I've been to Cremería Versalles one time before, and I figured there is so much good stuff here, I have to go back. So we have a little bit of show and tell from this place. We have an informal show around of this amazing store. Yes. So for starters, what is a cremería? Well, a cremería is a place that sells crema or sour cream or milk-based products. And this one's called Versalles, and they have all their own products that are made there. And what is amazing is that you walk in, and it's really like a little itty-bitty store that sells all kinds of fun chingaderas. But before I go into all the stuff that they sell, first, what I was looking for. I rushed all the way back to the refrigerated section where I found all kinds of milk-based products that you would want to buy, from heavy cream, not so heavy cream, light cream, chantilly cream, buttercream, cream, all kinds of creams. But, I was looking for cheese, and I found their own brand of I like to do my chilaquiles with mozzarella because they melt in a beautiful way. So this is what I was looking for. They have big bags of cheese at very affordable prices. I got a big bag of shredded cheese for less than 100 pesos, and it's going to last me for a while. But of course, this being a milk-based product place, their counters are full of unexpected treats that you would need to bake, like these trays and cake holders and so forth and so on. And then, of course, look at all these accessories. There's like little molds, candy molds, and all kinds of treats to make cookies and decorate cakes. I saw myself trying to resist buying all kinds of chingaderas here. And then they had more different types of chocolate than you will possibly need, from bitter to sweet to white to just plain cacao, so forth and so on. And they also had more coloring and artificial flavoring stuff than you will ever need. So that was Cremería Versalles. It's interesting because, you think of they just sell milk based products. And when I walked in there, I was so surprised the first time. So I was so happy to go back and show you this place. Of course, we will feature it in the show notes. And then after that, after looking at all those baking things, I figured, well, I need to enlarge my tummy just a little bit more, and I'm getting a sweet, sweet kind of craving. So, boom, just 2 blocks away, not even, is Artisan Bakery, where I went over and said hello to Bill, who is the owner and who's a cluster member. And of course, here I got 2 amazing pecan rolls. That is just too much sweet. I'm sorry, Luisa, if you're watching this from Guadalajara, just cover your ears for this part of the broadcast, because I know that you have separated yourself from your baker for a while. El panadero con el pan. There you go. That's the baker. Anyhow, I stopped with Bill and I got myself a couple of very, very sweet treats. But the great surprise is that, okay, so 2 nights ago, I had gone to see Muffin with Gina, and I was walking home on the way back, and I spotted this new place, Perbacco, street food by La Tosca. And of course, I spotted it. It was very late. I'm like, I'm not going to stop by because I'm tired, but I will make a point to go check it out. So yesterday was the perfect day to go see what this was all about. I was curious, of course, because this is a place produced by La Tosca, and we know La Tosca to be an amazing Italian restaurant owned by Chef Gaetano here on Calle España in Versalles. So I walked in, and for starters, it was air conditioned, which was wonderful. So what this is, it is a place where you can get paninis and sandwiches, street food, prepared with recipes created by Chef Gaetano. But not only that, a lot of the infused oils and other products that Chef Gaetano uses at his restaurant for cooking, sea salt flavored, dried fruit, so forth and so on. You can buy these here. And they have a nice selection of wines of many colors, which I loved. But of course, as I mentioned before, the piece de resistance is the fact that you can walk in and order a nice sandwich, and they have a very extensive menu of gourmet sandwiches. And I looked through it, and this is definitely a good place to enjoy an air-conditioned meal, a glass of wine, which I'm sure that they serve by the glass. I forgot to ask. And of course, a lovely sandwich. And you can even eat it there if you want, because they have a couple of tables next to this beautiful big photographic display. So that is the new Perbacco. And it is located right on Vienna Street, around the corner from Bill's Bakery. So this is going to be a fun place to enjoy oneself when one is looking for a nice nosh. And then, of course, I found out, this is very sad, Terrarium, we spoke about this place not too long ago, and what caught our attention was the fact that they have suspended chairs, hanging chairs, where you can sit and you can like swing as you're eating your food. Unfortunately, they announced on their Facebook page that they are closing. They said, "Good morning to each and every one of our customers. Today we have terrible news for you. We make the strong decision to terminate our cycle as a restaurant. We thank each and every one of our clients for supporting this business, and above all, thank you for choosing us. It was a pleasure serving you and meeting you. God bless you, and you will always be in our hearts." which is something that is absolutely very sad. I don't know why they're closing, but just the other day when Gina and I were hanging out in the neighborhood, I kept commenting on all the eateries that are opening. And I keep thinking, I certainly hope for their own sake that they're conducting some kind of market research just to find out, uh, just to find out what the neighborhood needs or what people are looking for. Now, the last story that I want to share with you today is a story of shared responsibility. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, I'll be the first person to admit that my brain is just scattered, and it's becoming more scattered as time goes by. I forget having met people. I forget people's names. And if there's something that really makes me feel sad and uncomfortable about myself, is when I say to someone, "Oh, it's nice to meet you." And that person says, "Oh, we've met before." And I'm feeling like, fuck, I did it again. Well, this happens to me. I don't know if it happens to you, but whenever I run into someone that I have a hunch may not remember me, I always try to throw in the conversation something along the lines of, "Oh, it's great to see you. I really enjoyed meeting you at so and such, where I told you about my project," or whatever. Um, but that maybe that's just my way of coping with the fact that I'm really scattered. Why am I telling you this? Because I received on my email page this message, blank message: "My partner and I have been watching you and supportive of your great information. We thank you for your time every day. Wanted to reach out about our new business, how we move forward to set up interview for our new salon. We so appreciate any information." So that's what these nice folk said to me. I am not remembering who they are. I'm thinking to myself, "Ay, Dios mío, they want an interview. I don't necessarily do interviews on demand, and I have no hair, so chances are that I'm not going to be stopping at this place anytime soon." And then I got really, really busy figuring out Tony Bennett and forgot to reply to this message. So Tony Bennett came and went, and I replied to the message and I said, "I'm really sorry I spaced out on this. Please tell me more about your business, whether you already have a Facebook page or not, what your expectations are, so forth and so on." I still don't know who these gentlemen are or these people are. So they replied back, and I love this reply. They said, "We have created a space where locals can be pampered in a beautiful space with high quality professional services. Not only that, but we've hired locals to train and advance their careers and livelihood. We're thankful to be in this community and contributing each day. We opened a few weeks ago and it's been successful so far." Now they're talking my language, and this is something that I can relate to. And of course, they shared the Facebook page. I still don't know who they are, and I went to look at the Facebook page and I see that the place is called Pelo Salon PV, and I thought, Pelo, I love the name. And I'll comment on the Facebook page in a second. But of course, being curious about who this was, I started looking through the Facebook page, and then I run into this video and I'm thinking, well, hello, that's Raul. I know Raul because he comes to the show and tells. We even went to, not the show and tells, the meet and greets. We even went to see Barbie together. And I kept thinking to myself, I only wish Raul had started by saying, "Hey, it's Raul. It was great to see you at the Barbie movie," or "It was great to see you at the meet and greet," because that way I would have known that it was not a stranger. Or at least a stranger to me. So the first thing that I would recommend to Raul, and then, I wrote him back and I said, "Oh, I know who you are. I know who you are." And tune into today. So I hope that Raul and his husband Paul are watching, because I have a few tips to better amplify your message on your Facebook page. The first tip, and this is maybe a little bit personal, had you told me, "Hey, it's Raul. Wasn't the Barbie movie wonderful? Please help us with our business," then I would have at least connected, and it would have been different because at least I would have known who this person was from the beginning. I do have some humble suggestions, if I may. The first thing that I want to point out is, of course, this is the homepage or the Facebook page. And while I think the logo is beautiful, I think your main image, this section over here, will be better purposed with photos of you and your husband, or photos of some of your happy customers. And I know that you have them, because if you scroll through the page, and I'm going to share it in the show notes, you will find that there are all these wonderful accounts of happy customers that they've had. And they've just opened, which is amazing. The second thing that I want to mention is, if you look closely at your Facebook page address, it is still one of those generic ones. So your Facebook page right now is profile.php !ID equals, and then some cryptic big name. The first thing that I'm going to recommend to you is that you change your page's username and web address. This is something that Facebook encourages everyone to do. And this goes not only to Raul and the new hair place. Anyone that still has like a gibberish Facebook page name, you owe it to yourselves to create your own custom name. Facebook makes it very easy to do that, and I will share the link to this page that tells you how to do it. You could become facebook.com/Pelo, and that way it will be easier for everyone to remember. So moving right along, I enjoyed looking through the Facebook page. The space looks divine, and I loved how you detailed information about how you went about transforming the space. And then I loved all these before and after images that I saw on the page, some of the transformations that you've created. And I kept thinking to myself as I was looking at your Facebook page, there must be amazingly compelling stories behind each one of these transformations. And I found myself wanting to know more about them. Why? Well, because I saw Steel Magnolias, and if you haven't seen Steel Magnolias, or if you've forgotten what that movie was about, I recommend you watch it again, because hairstyling salons are full of great stories. So the next thing that I want to advise to you is that you engage people that visit your Facebook page with some of the stories that go on in your space. Now, I don't mean once upon a time or really drink your juice, Shelby. Yes, that's precisely what I'm talking about, and what a wonderful movie that is. Anyhow, back to the tips and advice. When I say tell the stories, some of your clients might not be very forthcoming of details, but let us examine for a second the typical narrative story arc that you can see on your favorite television show, on your favorite movie, on your favorite book. There is a beginning, middle, and an end, and there is your plot, and then something happens that has to prompt the rest of the narrative, and then you get to the climax, which is when whatever your quest is takes place, and then you end up with the resolution of your story. Now, what does that mean when you're talking about Pelo? Well, let's take a look at what you wrote about this particular transformation. You wrote beautiful before and after, great color and haircut style. Alisa, you look incredible. Now, in looking at the photo and in looking at what you posted about it, you haven't shared anything that I cannot already see. There is no mystery for me to unpack. And I hope you're enjoying this. I'm almost done, but I hope you're enjoying this. Anybody that has a small business. In looking at this caption, there's no mystery for me. There's no Pandora's box. There's nothing that I can that can spark my curiosity. So let's assume for a second, I don't know Alisa, I don't know her background, but let's assume for a second that Alisa's inciting incident is the fact that she hasn't seen her sister in 8 years, and she wanted to impress her sister. Maybe her sister, she's going to meet her at the airport, or maybe they're going to have lunch, or maybe, I don't know. But let us assume for a second that Alisa hasn't seen her sister in 8 years and she wishes to impress her. Of course, the climax of this would be that you, Raul, as her stylist, hear the story and you think to yourself, man, I have to make this transformation truly, truly special. And of course, the climax of the story becomes that Alisa looks and feels great. So you end up with a happy ending. So how do you transform that into a Facebook post that will be more compelling to viewers? Well, this is what you wrote. Beautiful before and after, great color and haircut style. Alisa, you look incredible. This is what I might have written or you may want to consider in the future. When Alisa told us she hadn't seen her sister in 8 years, we knew we had to do something special. She was thrilled with the outcome. So you see, when you use that technique of storytelling, you're, number one, you're engaging the viewer. Number two, you're disseminating great transformational stories about your business. And number three, and perhaps the most important, you're making me as a viewer imagine or think about the possibility that in your hands, I could also feel special. I could also be transformed. So, consider this as a tip, a humble tip about how you could go about creating great storytelling in your posts, because that, I am sure, is going to increase the popularity of your page, and it's going to make everyone happy, particularly if you find out from Alisa 2 weeks later that she had a great time with her sister or something to that effect. This, by the way, and I have to put out the shameless plug, is the kind of information that we disseminate in Promo Prodigy, which is my upcoming presentation on how you can elevate your event promotion game with free tools. And of course, this is not haircuts. Haircuts are not necessarily events, but this is the kind of information that we cover on the upcoming workshop. Should you wish to attend it, and that goes to you, Raul. If you and your husband want to come, I am sure you'll come out with all kinds of information. And all that I've shared today is simply because Raul said to me in writing, we can use all the help we can get. So that was the help I was happy to share. The end. Let us take a look at your comments for today, and we'll take it from there. I hope the rest of you didn't find this too specific, but the underlining fact for me about this is that, you walk down the street and you're constantly surprised about changes and all the kinds of things that are wonderful in your own neighborhood. And for those of you that are scared to leave the comfort of Emiliano Zapata because that's the only place you know and that's where everybody speaks English, yada, 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 you'd be surprised at how wonderful other neighborhoods such as Versalles are like for English-speaking locals. I see a lot of good mornings, and I appreciate that today. Thank you very much. Da 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 ba da da ba bee 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 bee. Many good mornings. Many good mornings. I read that somebody was asking about Muffin's well-being. Logan is doing good. He's surrounded by wonderful support. And I am Hillary's target. You mean the hurricane, right? Boom, boom. I'm sure it's going to degrade to a tropical storm by the time it hits you, Charles. So I'm sure you're going to be fine. There's the comment about how Muffin's doing. Muffin's doing fine. I just hope he will remember to ask his doctor tomorrow when he can go back to going to the movies. Let's see. Yes, Cremería has all kinds of things. They even have their own Nutella, like brand-free Nutella. Let's see what else. Do 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 do. There you go, says Albert. Walked by the Cremeria so many times and never went in. Gotta change that next year. There you have it. Let's see. Lots of comments today. Yes, Raul and his husband Paul. There you go. I tell you, had I known from the very beginning that it was them, I probably would have taken as long to answer because it was a nutty week when I was preparing Tony Bennett. But at least I would have known from the get-go who we were talking about. Let's see. My Pelo needs some love. I have an idea. Paco Ojeda, Coffee and Headlines. Do you know Raul's last name? I'd like them on. I'll like them on Facebook now. Who wants to join me? Oh, I will share their Facebook page when we're done. I will definitely put all these Facebook pages on the show notes today so that you can like these businesses as well. Brian, as always, you cracked me up with "Drink your juice, Shelby." That's a line that you remember from Steel Magnolias. My favorite line is towards the end of the movie when Dolly Parton gets a second branch of her hair salon and she's like, "I'm a chain." So "I'm a chain" is my line. If you have favorite lines from Steel Magnolias, feel free to throw them in the comments as we go by. Oh yes, Mateo. It is all about crying. Steel Magnolias is. What a great film. Let's see what else we have. Lucy and Joshua are planning to attend Promo Prodigy. That is awesome. I look forward to seeing you there. Because, oh, by the way, that kind of story arc is not the only kind of story arc that you can use in great Facebook posts. There's a couple of easy cookie cutter methods and templates that I'm going to be sharing during the presentation. Then comments. It is always fascinating to see how people can promote themselves. Paco, you have a very creative mind and your suggestions are awesome. Thank you very much for that. Then I truly appreciate it. I'm just curious about who these wonderful people are that walk into Raul's and Paul's hair salon, you know? I mean, and I remember when I used to have hair, I always wanted to go get a nice haircut for one reason or another, and I'm sure there are great stories to tell there. Ooh, nasty. Brian says, but has anyone checked Hillary's emails? Now. Things are getting a little toasty up north, so hey, that's all I'm going to say. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Muffin! As always, people are talking about you, and I hope you're having a good morning today. Let's see what else. I think we're done. Wow. And it's 11:05, and there's still 48 of you here. How nice of you to stick around for all these local stories. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry today was not a good day for news. Hopefully tomorrow will be a good day for news. Today was a great day for show and tell, and I'm just very happy that I had the opportunity to tell you about all these business changes in the neighborhood near me. As always, I thank you, and I thank you for your support. We have new subscribers this week, and I'll be so very happy to talk about them on Saturday. Between now and then, I hope we will cross paths sometime in the near future. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.